Hello and welcome back to Living with a Ghost. I'm Finn and bienvenido de nuevo to Horizon Festival Mexico. We've expanded our base of operations across the Atlantic, and along with my cinematographer Zach,
that's me, right? Oh, hello!
We'll be opening a new garage, hopefully attracting more high-profile clients that want to spend their hard-earned cash souping up one of the over 500 vehicles in Forza Horizon Mexico and giving them a bit of a makeover.
Finn, where are you? This yuppie big shot's pacing the place. Seems really eager to sink some cash into Daddy's wheels. You should get to La Cabana now before he leaves. Laters!
Well, no time like the present.
Sorry man, I couldn't hold him. The dude walked out saying he was double parked. Can you believe that? I did, however, manage to secure our first contract. I think. Well, he didn't actually say yes, but he didn't refuse either. Anyway, Mr. Soon has flown all the way over from Rockport City with a suitcase of cash and some sort of list to defend. I don't know, guy spoke in metaphors. The car's outside, so go and take it for a test drive. Later.
Volkswagen first released the Golf in the summer of 1974. Defying its ancestors' traditions, the Mark I Golf boasted front-wheel drive with an engine placed to match. When production inevitably expanded across the Atlantic, they were rebranded as the VW Rabbit in the US and the VW Caribe here in Mexico. In its near half-century run, the Golf's undying popularity has fueled constant innovation and reinvention 8 generations over. Currently, the Golf stands as the best-selling Volkswagen model of all time, and as of 2019, it had sold 35 million units worldwide. This is the 2010 VW Mark VI Golf. This particular generation was released between 2008 and 2012, and touted a refined aerodynamic body, higher fuel economy, and the choice of 2 transmission blocks. Manual provides you with a standard 5 or 6 speed gearbox, but if you fancy unleashing the raw hot hatch power, you can opt for a 7-speed direct shift transmission instead. As well as adding an extra clutch, the driver can effortlessly switch between automatic and semi-manual drive. Customising this further, the Golf contains ACC, or Adaptive Chassis Control. At the flick of a button, the vehicle alters its suspension, steering and accelerator sensitivity to suit your specific instruction. The 2.5 litre petroleum or 2 litre diesel engine produces a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Or if you remove the limiter entirely, 161 miles per hour. The turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine produces 174 brake horsepower and about the same pound per foot of torque. Even with all that raw power, it will glide through rush hour traffic on 18-inch rims that leap over speed bumps with a 6-inch clearance from the ground. The 2010 Mark VI currently retails for £15,129, or £16,000 if you're going for the automatic. So the client wants an upgrade, and that is what we shall provide. Let's start off with some cosmetic upgrades. The front bumper is replaced with a smoother, more refined one, and the rear bumper is adapted to carry twice as many exhaust ports. Both bumpers are provided by ABT. The Golf's footwear is improved with the Pro Racer Z1 rims from 5-Zygon. I chose these as they most resembled Sonny's original wheels. Bit of a nostalgia hit, I know. The rear rims gain an extra inch to improve oversteer and drift. The front wheels gain thicker 245mm tyres to keep the hatchback grounded when stuff goes sideways. The tyres themselves provide a sizable boost to performance simply by using semi-slick racing compound. The Golf doesn't need that much help in the handling department, but we will be dropping the body down further with an adjustable racing suspension and preventing brake failure with sharper racing brakes. A new lightweight carbon fibre drive shaft is installed along with high-performance dual clutch. The gearbox itself is fine as is, so we're remaining untouched for this makeover. Mr. Soon wants us to dump all of Daddy's money into the engine block, so we'll be starting by improving the vehicle's airways. The stock exhausts are swapped out for racing ones. The turbo is changed for another racing spec one. And an extended racing intake adds a modest 12 brake horsepower to the engine. All that extra power is soothed with a complementary oil and cooling enhancement. The intercooler is perfectly functional to begin with, so it'll only get a small sporty improvement. The flywheel is replaced for a lighter alternative. We finish off with a digitally assisted ignition and racing valves. Now onto the vinyls.
Hey girl! Mr. Soon has just finished taking his jaw off the floor after seeing the itinerary for what you just did to the Golf. He's impressed. Actually, I don't think he minds what we do to the livery as long as we honor the original. Guy spent most of his time bragging about his last championship win in Tokyo. Rookie League, I might add. The way he was going on about it, you would have thought it was the Monaco Grand Prix. Do me a favour and finish this up quickly so we can get this wannabe off our lot. Laters. Ciao, babe!
Let's start at the rear with some aftermarket vinyls and topography. Scrolling all the way to the end, we stamp the same upper letter 11 7 times across the boot. This is the quick and easy way to ensure that every character is identically sized. Once they are all stamped, we can then go back into them all individually to change the letters. The W here needs a small font edit with a triangle and 2 white strips. W is then removed and replaced with our modified version. Sonny wants to maintain some continuity from his older vehicle, so I'm replicating the maximum speed decal in traditional Chinese to the rear and roof of the Golf. The script is almost entirely made up of this jagged knife community vinyl. After we've placed the final underline, we copy and paste the same design in red. If we offset this slightly, we can make a simple shadow effect. After a bit of rearranging, we move on to the roof and bonnet. Starting with a simple white circle, we stretch this over 60% of the roof and around 40% of the bonnet. Sonny's a bit of a show-off, so for the next part I want to commemorate his recent championship win in Japan, taking heavy inspiration from Katsuhiko Hokusai's iconic Great Wave of Kanagawa painting. We start with a sunburst circle in cool blue and position it over the hood. immediately stamping this and swapping out the colour palette for a cerulean blue, adjusting the slats to fill the spaces within the lower layer. We repeat this process with a third black layer. Next, we're going to spam the absolute hell out of this flame vinyl to hopefully create a spiky crest and choppy foam effect. Next, we need to form a trough at the base of the wave. We'll be using a blob tear for this, then doubling this up for yet more foam. The flame returns and breaks up the smooth lines formed from the tear vinyl. And again, we're going to go full ham on this effect. Once satisfied, we group up the layers we have so far, readjust the whole thing and mirror image them to the opposite side. But now we need to get rid of this ugly mass of vinyl in the centre. This blue kidney bean will cover up the unfinished sea. The sky is masked with a stretched shark tooth and multiple navy circles. The white oval we placed at the start needs cleaning up too, so we place a semicircle over the area but take care to hide part of the sunbursts. We follow this up with a beveled square and another semicircle. And the tsunami design is complete. We're continuing this Japanese-inspired design in the form of kanji. The entirety of the writing is constructed from red rectangles. And that is the hood design complete. We copied the sunburst vinyls from earlier and positioned them either side of the front wheel arches. This ultimately will make the tidal waves look thicker and more 3D. Staying on the side panels, we splashed another large white oval wing over the doors, creating an homage to the original without outright copying it. Then, as we've done multiple times before, we stamp this and change it to a different colour. This time it's dark orange, resizing this a few centimetres smaller than the white one and repeating the process again to form an orange inline. We copy and paste the kanji text to the side, making it the focal point on the side liveries. To change the roof, we maintain the continuity here by repeating our previous steps. Using this maroon checkerboard strip, we filled the empty space at the rear quarter panel. Doubling this up can cause some decal corruption, which we can easily fix with some navy pinstripes. This is then duplicated on the front bumper and quarter panels as well. We're incorporating this Dragon Phoenix flame vinyl onto the side and rear panels as it complements the overall livery theme. We triple this up to signify movement and change the colour each time as before. Now we move on to the aftermarket decals. The GVD decal is made up solely of upper letters 6 and 7 font. Under the driver's side window, we place Mr. Soon's name in upper letters 1 font. We return to the upper letters 7 for Yo-Yo Tyres decal, position them behind the front axle. Now the other side panels are looking a little bit bare, but we can fix this by selecting the Insert All from right left side button. The only downside is that all the lettering will have to be copy and pasted manually. Before we do that, the Golf gets a bit of a tidy up. And that's the decals done. Time to put the Golf through its paces. Let's have a look at how our upgrades have improved the Golf's desirability. As instructed, we spent the majority of Sonny's dad's money in mechanical upgrades alone, and less than $1,000 on vinyls and aftermarket decals, increasing the vehicle's total worth by over 250%. And if we see how that translates to performance,
Hey, good, you made it. Listen, I got another little surprise for you and Mr. Soon. Do you fancy a drag race, and not the kind Ash gets excited about?
Sure, why not?
That was amazing.
So, what did the client think?
Sonny absolutely loved it. Says he knows a guy looking for a mechanic. Could be profitable.
Send him our details. I'll drop this off to the happy owner.